So far I've built these little cabinets for the side lights, little lights. Completed this piece here. As you can see, I did Bondo on these edges and kind of rounded them so that I can roll my fiberglass over it. And I got this piece here as well. So the reason it's been slow advancements is because all this has to be sanded by hand, and you know, just little pieces here and there that I was fixing while I was there. So I got this piece here, and I still have to sand it. So the way I have to do it is kind of literally just little by little sanding like that. You know, with the sandpaper, it's very hard to get any tools or anything. So that's how I ended up doing this guy here, just, you know, just by hand, sanding it that way. I have to trim this piece off here, which the sanding paper grinding wheel just rips right through this and shapes it up really nicely. So the reason I got these towels here also is because I poured resin sawdust putty on the inside, because right now I have this foam bridging it, that's what the intention of this foam was, to kind of hold it, bridge it, and then kind of have a little cavity there to, you know, so I can dump that fiberglass putty in there, or the sawdust putty in there from the resin. But it kind of seeped through little spots here and there and kind of started dripping, so I tried to plug a few spots with some leftover Bondo, but as you can see, it's kind of dripping. It was oozing a little bit more, but as it starts to dry, it's kind of stopping from dripping. This is what I did from the inside. I just kind of poured in this resin sawdust putty there and along the bottom here, only because I don't know if you guys remember, this board here wasn't making contact with this board, so there was a little gap like that, and I just put foam underneath it to bridge it, and that foam just kind of, it oozed, the foam oozed out, but I shaved it, and that was enough where I can dump some of the sawdust resin over it. I'm still trying to figure out what the heck to do with this big old lip right here. I really don't like that there, so I'm thinking, you know, just from shaping this stuff off, I think I'm just gonna try to shape it down. There's a grinding wheel that I saw at Harbor Freight that I'm gonna see if if I can just shave this thing, just rip right through all of this wood and resin, and see if I can just shape it. I've also had other ideas as far as, you know, maybe building a resin part, kind of like the part that I built in the back panel, that back panel, just built something similarly on top of this, and like make some kind of funky design to it, and where it'll eventually, you know, meet down to the bottom. But I don't know, I think the easiest and fastest way is just kind of just shave it and shape it, and then once the resin on the inside hardens, I'm just going to shave that and round this bottom piece off. I'm hoping that I can shape this up, shave it off, and, you know, seal it, make it nice and neat like that one, and fiberglass it. I'm saying I'm hoping, but I also have my doubts, because it's 1 in the afternoon right now, but believe it or not, time flies when you're actually working on this. And I have a cold, you know, I just don't feel all up for, you know, working today, but this is the only day I had to work on this. And I just wanted to also add, this thing is still holding up. It's been well over a month, and this thing is holding up really well in the weather. There's no buckling, no signs of water damage. Oh jeez. So I have a cold right now. It's the beginning parts of the cold, so my throat's really groggy right now. But what I was trying to tell you is that this shell, you know, it's just been holding up really well. It's been well over a month since it's been sitting out in the elements and the weather, and it's practically ready to be fiberglassed. The only thing that I'm having problem is just trying to figure out what to do with that bottom lip down there. So like I said, I'm thinking I'm just going to try to shape it up, or, you know, just shave it back and just shape it down, it up. But it's pretty much almost ready to be fiberglassed. You know, so I just got that bottom piece that I need to kind of nip in the bud and just do something about it. Hey guys, it's the following week. So the last thing I did was fiberglass, built these little things and fiberglassed inside of it with these, using this chopped fiberglass. So today I'm just gonna cut this out, smooth it out, kind of like that one over there, and then straighten that one out a little bit. I got all those strips and stuff down there. Fill this in and make it nice and neat. I'm gonna try to address this thing today. I'm gonna try to shape it, just shape it down, cut it about like to this angle maybe, and then just kind of gradually shape it towards the middle, because if you can tell towards the middle, it's already at the lowest point where it can go, towards the middle. So I can't shave it in the middle. I can't shave it all the way down, so I'm gonna have to gradually fade it somehow. I don't know how else to describe it. So I'm gonna just kind of shape it up and just make it look decent. So what I did, I actually went to Harbor Freight today, and I got this guy here. I've been wanting to use this one here. It's kind of interesting. It's like a chainsaw, but for an angle grinder. What it does, it cuts, carves, and shapes, so you can kind of shape it. So I'm gonna see how this works out. just got done installing this wood carving disc. Yeah, this thing is like Super Duty chainsaw style, you know, disc. You know, it's pretty heavy duty, and this thing is going to make some major damage onto that wood. Is going to just grind away. At least that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I mean, this thing looks super heavy duty. So that's what this is. I got it from Harbor Freight. Oh man, I mean, this thing is so scary that I actually put the guard on the angle grinder and got a handle. As you can tell, earlier I cut my finger, well, I grinded it with the disc, and these are heavy duty, and this thing was just, you know, these alone would just grind, you know, just grind off wood and fiberglass and everything. I don't know what this guy's gonna do. The irony or the epiphany of this cut right here is that I'm actually glad that this cut happened, because this was like a serious little cut here. I mean, I cleaned it up and put antibiotics on it, put a band-aid, and then wrapped it around with more bandage. But I'm actually glad it happened, because it could have been worse. You know, when I work on these with these grinders, I normally don't put the guard on, because it's kind of hard to work with the guard when I'm using these angle grinders, you know, because, you know, it's very hard to work with these guys. But I'm actually, like I said, I'm glad I actually cut myself, because I probably would have just slapped this guy on without the guard and without the handle. You know, when it comes to working with these very, you know, heavy duty tools, power tools, you know, we got to take a lot of precaution. And, you know, this is actually I think this is my first cut on this build here. You know, I've been kind of lucky. I usually do things carefully. You guys always see me wearing my gloves, mask, goggles, and all that stuff. You know, I try to take as much precaution as I can. But yeah, this thing just ripped through my glove. You know, just made a hole there. So I actually pulled my heavy duty gloves out, because I'm going to be wearing these guys here. Even though, I mean, this thing will just rip right through it, but, you know, I figure that it'll give me somewhat of a chance. My first cut on this build, and hopefully my last cut. Like I said, it could have been worse. You know, these things could have just ripped right down to the bone. It went pretty deep, but not to the bone, and not to any nerves, at least. It doesn't really hurt right now, and it didn't really bleed a whole lot, but, I mean, that thing went down deep. We'll see how this goes, and yeah, I'm scared of this guy. I don't know what's gonna happen, so we'll find out. You know, wish me luck. I was able to accomplish with the carving wheel and this sanding wheel. So as you can see, it's a straight shot right here up until you get in the middle, and in the middle it kind of bubbles out a little bit. So I was able to shave it down as far as it goes. It even went past this flange that I built out of fiberglass. So it's actually not too bad, because now I can at least build it up a little bit. Just build up a little hump in the front, in the center, and then this here will be a straight shot, and I'll be able to curve it down that way, round off the corner there. But this was intense. It took several hours. This guy here, actually both of these wheels, they got dull. Towards the end you can start seeing the wood turning brown, and it was a burning smell, and that was because this disc was just dull. So it's really dull now. So for what it was worth, it was $30 at Harbor Freight, and I was pretty much able to do just this piece here. And I mean, I don't know if I can really use this for anything else, because it's already dull. And then this also, it's still got a little bit of life in it, but and then I had bought 2 of them, and this is the second one. So maybe buying 3 of these to have done this job would have been ideal. So I was able to pretty much shave it down. I don't think I would have been able to do it without this guy here. This thing just really ripped right through it. I had to do it kind of slowly, because it like really dug into it. So I had to kind of do it slowly. After a while, I kind of got the hang of it, and kind of got the technique on how to dig into it carefully. So it was definitely, this is definitely an acquired technique, because it has a little kickback in the beginning. It really digs in, and it just as you can see, it really shreds through it. So I don't know if I would have been able to do it without this guy here. So luckily, I came across this at Harbor Freight, and this guy here just really smoothed it down. So towards the front, I'm going to build it back, build it, shape it, so to speak, kind of sculpt it and shape it to like a little bubble towards the front. Sorry, I would say 1/3 of the way this way is a straight shot, and 1/3 of the way that way is a straight shot. It's just 1/3 parts of the middle. It's kind of bubbled out because of this flange here. So not too bad for what I was up against here, because this thing, as you can remember, I kind of threw off my dimensions here when I had to do a filler here, and just the dimensions just kind of went off just a little bit. But I'm glad I was able to sculpt it with that guy there. So you can kind of see it a little bit more from this angle, how it kind of bubbles out in the center. So I kind of dug in a little bit too much on one side, but that shouldn't be a problem. I should be able to sculpt it back out. I will be using the resin putty to fill in those holes there, and then any remaining part of it will be Bondo. But it's coming along. So yeah, that's it. That's all I was able to do today. So maybe next week I'll do some fiberglassing. Who knows? It's a slow process. It's all, everything here I'm doing is pretty much experimental. I'm kind of learning as I go, having to fix a few mistakes, and trying to figure those things out as well. So I think that overall, based on how everything's coming along, it seems to be kind of turning out okay. So setbacks here and there, but it's moving forward. So slowly, hopefully next week or the week after that, whenever I have time again, I'll hopefully do some fiberglassing, and that's it. I got a big old cleanup job to do here, but hang in there, guys. Thanks for watching, and yeah, you know, I got my, I'm not trying to flip you off, but I'm trying to show you, you know, my finger just got, you know, banged up pretty bad. So you gotta be careful when you're with these heavy duty grinders, angle grinders, that they'll take your finger right off. So I got lucky this time. Anyways, thanks guys, see you next time.